Welcome to the virtual adult improv show with the LA Connection players. Today's our short form Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time team. And we're going to do some great games today. At the end, we have a game show that you guys can play at home and score your own points. And then we'll let you make your comments back. We've always got a lot of comments before this show even started today. Something about cheesy popcorn. And is there good popcorn in Chicago? So we do read your comments. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate you guys watching us live on our YouTube channel. Let's introduce our cast, starting with Joseph.
Hello, everybody from the steamy state of Florida.
William.
Hi, I'm William, and I got you a Christmas gift.
I wonder who he meant by that. Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I've been obsessed with mushrooms lately.
And a shout out to Jasmine's mother who's watching. I think you have something to do with that popcorn stuff. And Tara.
Hi from New York City. A balmy New York City for this winter. Well, not technically winter, but you know.
We do know. And I'm Ken Scove out here in California, in Southern California, where it's actually, believe it or not, raining all day today. So it's a miracle. This will be the only rain we'll see for about another drought 10 years. Okay, we're going to start off with, it is a holiday season, guys. Holiday season. So why not have some Hallmark holiday cards? But these are not going to be your normal holiday cards. They might be a little sarcastic or dark. I don't know what they're going to do with them. It's up to them. They're just going to raise their hand, unmute, and do their Hallmark holiday card. So who wants to go first? Okay, William.
Happy Valentine's Day to my one true love. Please stop changing the locks on your door.
Well, I hope he wasn't talking about his wife. Okay, who's next? And we know his wife's listening too. Okay, Jasmine.
Happy holidays. New Year's is coming up, but so don't forget your Prosecco, all right? It's going to be fun.
Wow, who's she talking to? All right, who's next? Joseph from Florida.
I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. And watch those broomsticks. I didn't like where you put it last time.
Okay, we'll leave that for the imagination. The show just went X. Okay, and we're not talking Twitter, by the way. Tara.
On this Mother's Day, I would like to appreciate my mother, my dear mother, for all of our sentimental talks. I really appreciate those, especially when you confided in me that I was the biggest mistake you ever made.
Ooh, wow. That was a longer card. Look, she had to actually leave the stage. Come on back in. You don't want your mom to look at you. You feel bad now for your mom. Okay, William from Alabama.
Merry Christmas to my Aunt Beth. The only thing I'm getting you this year is a swift kick in the teeth.
Oh, yeah, well, I said he's from Alabama. They're tough out there. Okay, who's next? Jasmine.
Happy 4th of July, Uncle Jack. I don't think it's wise to let the children pop fireworks.
Hard to get that children line out, huh? It's a tough word, children. 2 syllables. Okay, Joseph.
I'd like to wish happy Easter to everybody. And I promise not to lay an egg.
Well, some people think he just did. Just kidding. Okay. He's got to have a sense of humor to be with me. All right, who's next? William, he's got another Hallmark holiday card.
Happy Thanksgiving to all my family. Remember, political thoughts are like assholes. For some reason, Uncle Jerry keeps trying to show his at the table.
Oh, that's going to be a very interesting dinner. Okay, anybody else got any more? Okay, Tara.
Happy anniversary, my love. The greatest gift you ever gave me was actually freedom when I found out you were banging Vicky next door.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Look at, see, she left again. She leaves after she does her thing because she's afraid Vicky's now watching online. Okay, anybody else got any more Hallmark cards? Okay, well then we're going to move on. You can all stay out here, but we're going to kind of change in character now because now they're going to be at my therapy session. They all have addictions, unusual addictions, not normal addictions, and I'm here to kind of help them. If you have any comments online that you want to suggest how they could be helped, that's fine too. So I'm going to start with Jasmine. So Jasmine, you like it when bees sting you?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I like the pain.
You like the pain of the bee sting. Okay. When was the first time you were stung by a bee? How old were you?
I think I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
And
7.
I was like in the park, right? And this bee just, and it, it hurt so bad, but I loved it.
So did you laugh or did you cry or what was your, you said it hurt bad, so did you scream? What was your first reaction?
It was like euphoria coursed
Really?
through me. And I was just giggling the whole time. I wanted more to sting me, but they wouldn't come near.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that because I know it started with just you being stung by one bee, and then pretty soon you needed 2 or 3 bees.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon you were standing outside looking for honeybee hives, and now you're actually going to honeybee farms and not wearing the suit. You want to elaborate?
And just let them sting me.
Right. How many would you say would be the most stings you had at one time?
Oh, I'd have to say 70.
70?
That was insane. My skin, it just bubbled, you know?
Uh-huh. Well, now, after you get these bee stings, do you do something after that? I mean, do you go and take a salt bath, or do you put lotion on your skin? Do you do anything to help with making sure you don't get it infected?
I let it sit for like an hour because I want to feel the sizzling. And then I put like a cold compress. And then I just do it all over again.
So you travel around with cold compresses? I mean, let's say you're not at home. You're at the bee farm, for example. What do you bring your own cooler with cold compresses?
Well, yeah, I have to. I mean, in order to continue being stung, I have to let the swelling go down.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't allow me to like not let the swelling go down. You know what I mean? If I had it my way, I'd stay swelled.
Wow. So the only thing I got to tell you is you can't try to get other people hooked on these bee sting thing, because now we have killer bees. And if you get stung by 1 or 2 killer bees, it won't kill you. But you do 70 killer bee stings, you're dead.
Would 1 killer bee kill me?
No. It will be a more severe sting. So if you want to go to a higher level, if you really want to go get some really good ones, go wasp. Go and find wasps. You know.
No, I don't do wasps.
Okay.
Wasps, they're dangerous. Bees, lovely,
Okay.
you know?
Okay. Well, thank you. Again, I'm not going to be judging you. I'm just wanting you to talk about your addiction. It seems like you have it under some control.
Well, just a tiny bit. I could work with it. I don't know. You just...
Okay, the last thing I'm going to say to you is you can't carry one in a container, like a jar container or a plastic container, and when you go out to other places like restaurants or people's houses, you can't let the bee out hoping that it will sting you, because it may sting somebody else, and that could lead to a serious problem.
So should I not have brought the bee here?
Yeah, we've captured your bee. We noticed you let the bee out at the meeting here, and we've captured it, and now it's in a metal container. It's in the trunk of your car. We were able to break into your car too. Okay, so thank you. Let's go now to William. So William, you like smelling awful smells.
Yes, Kent. I do. I quite enjoy the pungent aroma of stinky scent, as you would call it.
Well, it started how?
Well, you see, one day I was at a shoe store, and like I was young. I was like about 9, and there was this woman who had these like very big feet, and like they like when she took the shoes off, I could smell it like all the way across the shoe aisle. Just massive, and like I could smell it, and I could. Oh, just thinking about it today, just.
Well, so it started with shoes, but it's gotten a lot worse.
Yes.
So, do you want to talk about some of the other smells you're out trying to find?
Oh yes, Kent. I also going back to the mall. I have discovered recently that I love the smell of food court garbage cans, especially like after a day. Like I just stick my head inside the thing and just take a big long whiff.
Okay, well, it's gotten worse than that because now you're actually farting in elevators, silent farts, to see how other people react to smells. And
Yes, Kent. I have
this is after
trained
you go to.
myself to. Yes, I've trained myself to fart silently so I can enjoy my own fragrance. I don't even wear deodorant.
Right, and you're doing this now in buses. You're doing it in Ubers. You're hiring Uber drivers. You just tell them to drive around in circles, and you're farting in the car to get the worst. You won't let them roll the windows down.
Oh, yes, very
Okay.
much so.
Do you think this is getting worse because some of the stuff? I mean, someone said you were not only smelling the smells in the dumpster outside food court in the mall, you were actually rolling in the dumpster.
I will have to say that, yes, my love for the stench has caused me some problems. You see, Kent, I got stabbed by a needle one day, and I had to spend 6 hours in the ER getting test run because I got stabbed while rolling in it. So it's causing me bodily harm, and if I die, then there's going to go scents unsmelled, shoes unsniffed, and I just don't want to live like that. I don't want
Okay.
to live in a world where I can't sniff.
Okay, so I know you're living with your cat, and the cat is an indoor cat and doesn't have a cat box, which is a little weird. And now you also have gotten a Chihuahua, who's also a home dog, and
Peas everywhere.
he pees and poops. Okay, and you're just trying. And I also understand that the reason we're zooming you to your house is because we don't want the smells in the studio here. But you haven't showered in, it says here on the paper, over 7 months.
Kent, that's now 8 months. Do not tell lies about me.
Okay, 8 months. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your
Thank you for
addiction.
understanding.
Let's go to Tara. Let me see what it is with you. Oh my. So you like to bark at people.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, let's maybe not do it with me right this second. You can. When did you start barking at people?
It started at a really young age, from what I remember. I must have been about 3.
And why did you bark? Were you barking at a dog first, or did you just start barking at people because you were trying to imitate the dog?
No, I did hear a dog barking in the neighbor's yard, and I
see.
thought it was an interesting sound. So, I mean, my family just didn't pay attention to me. So, with words, what little words? Well, I was an advanced child, so I had some words to use, but they didn't seem to respond. So, I tried the bark, and next thing you know, I got a lot of attention.
I can see you getting a lot of attention from that. So it started with you just barking at your parents. But now you're
Yeah.
barking pretty much at everybody. I mean, there's been complaints at your work that somebody new just gets hired and you go over and just start barking at them like you want to have a dog fight.
I mean, if they can't handle it, it's kind of a little test of whether they fit into the office culture. I mean, I was hired on, so I set the tone for the office culture. And if a little bark or yip here and there bothers someone, it says a lot about their character, right?
Hmm. Hmm. You also
I mean,
started a barking club where just people, they don't
yes,
actually talk with each other. They meet at your house. It's kind of like sometimes they have like church groups, that they get together and do prayer or something
yes.
like that. You actually have a dog barking group. How many people are now in this group?
We're up to about 17. I have interest from 6 other people.
Hmm.
Every one of us has our own unique bark, and we
Hmm.
have a bark Bible that we do
Oh,
readings from. And everyone's encouraged to bring a treat in the shape of a paw. So some people bring cupcakes that are, iced look like
right,
a paw print.
right.
Um, some people bake milk bones and that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a theme. We can
Can you
like
do like do a little bark? You said it's a prayer, bark prayer. Could we hear a little bark?
well, it's not religious. It's just sort of, I'm using that as an analogy. Like anyway, I
Well,
can
just
do a little
give me
sample.
a sample from the bark book.
Oh, I see. Okay. Open that up. Okay. It starts like this.
Okay, and what? Oh, you're still going. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there was one more. It's fine. I mean, you get the
Okay.
idea.
Well, what exactly did you say?
I mean, you have to be part of the club to
Oh,
know that. It's sort of like the
oh.
Masons.
So
We
you
have
don't have like
secret paw
you don't have like a barking translator? Someone who comes in and
I mean, I
translates
guess
your barks to English or
it
Spanish or
wouldn't
whatever
hurt if I
language.
could
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess I could let you know it's basically a joyful hymn in a way,
Okay.
what I just
Okay.
recited to you.
Okay.
It's an inclusive call to order for our
Right.
bark meetings.
Right.
We
Right.
have bark agendas. We
I see.
wear, we have logos. We've got all
Wow.
kinds of accoutrements for this bark group. I mean, it's really fantastic. In fact, I would love to extend an invitation to everyone here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to think about that. The last thing I'm going to say though is just, and there's been a few complaints that sometimes when you are walking across crosswalks, you bark at people coming from the opposite distance. You just start barking at them, and some are afraid to actually cross the crosswalk now. And then you've actually ran after them into the park.
I did. A lot of people are not nice. I don't know
I
if you've
see.
noticed. Have you been outside of your house recently? People kind of suck. So
Okay.
the people who ran away from me, quite honestly, deserved it. And they're
I
dog
see.
haters. I can read that in someone, and
Okay.
I don't trust anyone who doesn't like a dog.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your addiction with us. We're going to go to Joseph now. Joseph, so your addiction, I know, is that you like to spit into the wind and you like to pee into the wind, which means it just comes back and hits you. Why don't you tell us how that got started?
You've outed me. It's a relatively recent phenomenon. I started with the spitting. Got one in the eye once, and I says, "Hey, let's try something else."
Mm-hmm.
Pulled down my fly. It was winter, and I was just going to write my name. But I decided, hey, let's face the wind and see what happens. Now I find there's an art to it. You turn it to the left, it goes to the left. You turn it to the right, it goes to the right. Now, once you got your right foot and your left foot covered, you put it up a little bit, and it goes sort of in your belly button. You get the picture, right?
Hmm. How big do you have to be to get it to your face?
Well, you don't have to be really excited, but it sort of helps if if you sit down in the toilet and hangs in the water. It's sort of like that. You've got to it's got to be there. Let me put it that way.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, how often do you do this now that you've experienced it?
Oh, I'm a monthly,
Monthly, okay.
without fail.
Hmm.
And if there's no wind, I'll create wind by running.
Hmm. You run in,
Now
okay.
that's a real art.
Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy. Well, I understand now you've also have a fan collection that you're actually selling on eBay. It's called the Pee in the Fan, and you have different, where you can go fast or medium or slow, depending on how much pee you want to come back and hit you. You want to talk about that?
Well, I do live in Florida, and there's quite a bit of sand. I can walk out my back door, and all I see is sand.
Hmm.
Um, it's not as pretty as snow. You get that nice yellow color, and
Yeah.
especially when you dot the I. But when I'm in sand and there's a little bit of wind,
Hmm.
it's a whole different phenomenon. It's
Wow.
it, it's got me speechless.
Okay, well, the last thing I'm going to ask you is I know that sometimes there's tornadoes, Tornado Alley out there, a lot of tornadoes in Florida. I know you moved into the worst tornado area so that you could be out there peeing directly into the eye of the tornado. Do you want to talk about that before we close up?
Well, certainly it was by design, and I had to figure out a way to pee straight and forward where the pee would end up, let's just say, on my butt. And there was a perfect thing. A little tornado came, a little twist. It wasn't a big one, just a little one, and I hit bullseye. It was great.
Okay, well, thank you, all of you. I appreciate you sharing your addictions. It's not easy to talk out in public. We did tape all this, so we have recordings of it. We will not be posting it anywhere. It's just a private thing for you and me and everybody. But I can get you your own personal copy if you want of your own addiction. If you want to take a look at that and share that with your Bark Club. When you go to sell your stuff on eBay, or the Smell-O-Vision, which I know you now have Smell-O-Vision. It's your new cable show. So we're promoting everything. And of course, Jasmine, we really appreciate you with the bees. And we're going to send you to a bee farm in Vancouver this summer. So have very good, okay? Thank you all for being on Addictions, and we'll see you all in a month and talk about them again. Okay, that was Addictions. We're moving on to programming. We're going to keep Jasmine and William out here. Joseph will minimize. And let me explain how we're going to do this now. Think of like them having just a little clicking device here. They click, or just you'll see a physical thing if they forget to say click, but you'll see this movement. And that movement means that they're going to switch characters, but they're going to be in the same storyline, which is they're on a blind date. They've never met. They were set up by mutual friends, and they're on a blind date together. And they can be any time you guys want in the date. It could be the middle of the date, the beginning of the date, however you want to do it. And every time they have a line, the next time they come on, they'll click and have a different voice, but they'll still be on that blind date. This is programming. Take me away.
It's nice to meet you. I've never really done this before.
It is nice to meet you too. I am new to this myself.
Yeah, where are you from? My friend didn't tell me much about you.
Well, I'm from the great state of Texas. Grew up near the Alamo in San Antonio, but where are you from?
I'm from Nebraska. Ohio. I'm sorry, Omaha, Nebraska. Not much going on here.
Well, I'm a little nervous about being on this date. It's kind of a bit of a.
Well, I'm not at all nervous. You know, I haven't done many blind dates, but so far you seem like a good choice.
Well, I do appreciate, me about your choice in men, because I am the best choice, even though this is my first time. I feel the connection in between us.
Well, should we just get on the roller coaster or what? It's quite fun. I love carnivals.
Well, I feel sure. I'm a bit nervous about carnivals. I mean, it's kind of sure. Can you hold my hand though? I'm.
Of course I'll hold your hand. It'll be easy. You want to go on a tiny coaster? Tiny coaster's always good. It's always a good start. I promise you that.
Quite so indeed. I always get nervous around these roller coasters. They do make my heart go pitter patter. Much like you, though, you do make my heart go pitter patter as well, but in a good way. In a good way.
Well, thank you, thank you. You make my heart go pitter patter too.
All right, well, that
How
was
about
programming. That was programming. Well done, you guys. Let's bring Joseph and Tara back out. That was called programming. If you want to try that at home or do that on a date and see how long they'll hang out with you. But hey, we're going to move on to a game called Word Cut. I'll be doing the cutting. I'm going to give them a word. So let's say that word was water, for example. They could do any scene they want about water. It could be about a water bottle. It could be about doing the dishes. It could be a pool. It could be a lake, the ocean, anything to do with water, a hose. And they'll make that decision when they come out and do their scene. Then I'll cut it. Let's say someone else wants to do another scene on water. They'll come in and they can add anybody else who they want to come in to their scene about water. And as long as they keep coming back out, I won't give them a new word. But once they don't come out, and I cut the scene and no one comes out, I'll give them a new word. I have 4 words. We may get to all of them. We'll see how long each one plays out. So this is Word Cut. So we're going to start with just Joseph and Tara. So William and Jasmine, good. And you're going to take me off in 1 second. The word is nuts. Nuts. So go ahead and take me away.
Nuts. Nuts to everything. Nuts to this, nuts to that, nuts to this, nuts to this. Nuts.
That's nuts. That's pretty nuts to say.
Well, it's not only nuts. It's bolts and nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts. 1/8 inch nuts, 5/6 inch nuts, 1/2 inch nuts, 6 inch nuts.
Peanuts.
And cut.
Result.
So now you guys minimize. Go ahead, Joseph, minimize.
Hi, I'm William Prothor, and are your kids driving you nuts? Completely insane? Completely bonkers? Well, get the Nuts Destroyer. Just whack your kid over the head, and they'll stop driving you nuts.
Cut. Okay, no one's coming out. We'll give a new word then. The new word is treasure chest. It's actually 2 words. Treasure chest.
Tara, come quick. Guess what?
What happened?
I have found a map to the treasure chest. Oh, we're gonna find it. We're gonna find it.
Girl, we're gonna be so rich.
Yes, we are. We've been at sea for centuries. And finally, what do I find? The map. Where? Guess where? In my
Where?
underwear drawer.
Girl,
It's been there the whole
everything's in
time.
the underwear. I can't believe it. I'm so seasick. This is so amazing.
Yeah, I'm getting a little seasick too, but it's gonna be it. Okay? We can finally go home. I promise you. It's gonna be
With
the
the
best ever.
treasure chest.
And cut. Cut. Anything else on treasure chest?
Joseph, listen. When I commissioned you to do that fiberglass treasure chest, I didn't want you to put naked women on the coins. This is going into like a family golf course.
I was going to put my own picture on there, but I didn't want to be naked on a coin.
I don't know many people who say I want to be naked on a coin. So I did. Who even is that? Who is on the coin?
Well, it's the president, of course, and he's naked.
You drew the president naked on the coins that are growing in the children's mini golf course.
And cut. Go ahead and minimize. Anything else on treasure chest? Are we moving on to the new word? The new word? Oh, here we got treasure chest.
I found it, you guys. The most treasurable thing in the treasure chest of Grandma Snacks. We have the orange creams. I've been searching everywhere for this. Everywhere.
And cut. I'll give you a new word. The new word is hot. Hot. It's so hot we can't hear her.
It's so hot. My internet is like melting. And William, I'm sick and tired of all your friends calling me hot. It's really, really embarrassing. And hot is not a compliment, okay? Pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, but hot?
Mom, listen. I'm going to say this gently. Remember when you went into Spencer's and bought the shirt that says MILF on it?
Yeah, isn't that like like a milkshake brand or something?
Mom, no. It stands for Mom, I like to.
Oh my God. Oh my
And
God.
cut. Cut. And then we'll go another word, hot. Up. Unmute.
How hot is it? It's so hot, I forgot to unmute.
And cut. Okay. And anybody else with hot? All right, your last word is ring. Ring. Up, unmute.
I'm sorry, my telephone isn't working. I'm waiting for Jasmine to give me a ring.
Hi, dear.
How are you doing, dear? It's so good to hear from you. I've been waiting for your call.
Look. I have been traveling the world, yes? And I
Yes.
have found that the song Ring Around the Rosies is about the plague. Can
Right,
you believe
right.
it?
That-
No one's told me this.
I
I've
mean, we
been-
learned.
I've been singing up and down the sidewalk, Ring Around the Rosies. What could I have been saying to people? Get the plague.
I mean, the things we learn as children, it's really quite barbaric.
It really is.
And
I mean,
cut.
The hobbitses have stolen my precious. My precious!
So do you think they like that audition, or do you think I'm being a bit too hammy?
I think they're going to give you a ring.
Ah, thank you.
And cut. All right, that's a word cut. That was a great game for you. Okay, everybody come on back out. We're going to do a little crisis hotline. I'll be playing the crisis operator and try and help and solve their cases. William, you can't get a second date. You'll be number one, so go ahead and get into character of a guy who's calling the crisis hotline and can't get a second date. Go ahead and minimize. There you go. Okay. Joseph, you'll be coming out second. You sweat all the time, Joseph. You're constantly sweating. So go ahead and get into character. Okay, then we'll follow up with Tara. You can't get your kid to move out of the house. The kid's in his 30s. You got to get that kid to move out. Okay, and Jasmine. You always misplace your keys. Okay? All right. Go ahead and minimize. Okay, welcome to my crisis hotline. I have right here today, I have 4 callers. I come in every Wednesday and spend a little bit of time here seeing if I can help people out on their crisis. So my first one here is, looks like it's William. William, you can come on the visual line so I can see you. Thanks a lot, William. Okay, William, so it says here that you can't get a second date. That's what my producer slipped me. Is that seems to be your crisis?
I can never get a second date. You see, every time I like get a date on one of those like apps, I get one date with them, and then they just ghost me. Like, I have a great personality. I have fashion. I mean, this is the epitome of fashion, and I have a Bionicles collection. What other girl? What?
All right. Well, let me ask you something. Okay, when you go on a date, do you wear that hat? And are you wearing the Christmas shirt all year round, or is it just because it's the season?
No, mostly I wear shirts with superheroes on them, but this is my fuck bitches get money sweater, as I call it. So
Yeah, women don't like to be called bitches. So is that how you do? Call them a bitch on the first date?
not to their face, only on the internet.
So when you're trying to set up a second date, you're calling them a bitch?
No, mostly whenever after they ghost me, but
I see.
I couldn't call a lady that to her face. That's just rude. But they are bitches for not calling me back.
Right. Okay. Well, I can see part of their reasoning. This is what you need to do. Okay. You need to.
Okay.
You need to pretend like your first date is over the internet. You know, when you're actually talking to someone and kind of getting to know them and deciding if you want to go out with them. Then when you go and meet them, it's your second date. So then theoretically, at least you've got to your second date.
Okay.
I don't think, based on what I'm seeing here today, you're going to get to a third date. But at least, you know, you can call me, in a week or so and say, well, I made it to the second date. And I'll give you some advice on how to get to the third date. Right now, I think we just got to try and get you to the second date.
I mean, to quote the great Spock, progress is progress. Live long and prosper.
Okay, don't do that either on the date, okay? Unless it's a sci-fi chick.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. No, don't call them bitches. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. It looks like I've got Joseph here. Joseph, my producer says you sweat all the time.
All the time just doesn't say it. I'm dripping. It's in my eyes. It flows off my scalp into my eyes, into my nose. It runs down my chin. I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, see, the first thing is you don't want to just have a little envelope like that. That's not going to solve your sweating problems. In fact, that's creating you to physically do more, which will create more sweat. So what you need to get is a high-powered like fan, and maybe actually have a block of ice in front of it, so it's blowing cold air at you. And so if anything, your lips will start getting blue, and you won't be sweating. Some of the sweat that's on your face might turn into icicles. And you'll be very, very cold, and then you'll wish you could sweat again. So then you turn the fan off and then go back a little bit, but at least will be a way to kind of slow down the sweating. The other thing is, you know, if you're sweating that bad, then get a slip and slide and go in the backyard. You don't even need to put the water on the slip and slide, just slide in your own sweat. And that will kind of take off some of the sweat. You should take advantage of the fact that you sweat. So, you know, go ahead.
Well, the one thing that happens is, you know, it's okay in the summertime and maybe in the spring, but I sweat in the wintertime. I sweat in the snow. And
Wow.
I can make enough sweat to have a little ice rink. And
Okay.
do you hear what I'm saying?
Well, I do. So what I would do is take advantage of that. Make an ice rink for horses, because it would be like a salt lick. Okay, because you know sweat is salty, because people don't want to be on an ice skating rink that's salty, but horses would. So what you do is if you're in the winter, you open up a horse salt lick rink based on your own personal sweat. You'll be famous.
I think that idea would sell like hotcakes. I know
Yeah.
quite a few people with well, they have goats anyway. Would it work the same way with goats?
Well, no, they don't like salt as much. Okay, it's mainly the horse. So what you do is, it's winter's coming up now. Go to a snow area, ski area, and start this idea. Make sure there's horses in the area, and start selling your idea. And then give me a call back in the spring, and I'll give you an idea when you're sweating in the spring. Okay?
Will do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I got Tara here now. Tara, so my producer says you have a 32-year-old son who will not move out, and you want to get him to move out. Give me the backstory here.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what to do. This kid is in his 30s. I got, what helps with this situation? What helps with this? None of this shit helps. I'm a mess. And I listen to his rock music all day. He won't even get a job. He's a lazy ass. I can't believe I didn't raise him. I mean, his father raised him. That's why he's an asshole. Now I'm addicted to butterscotch.
Okay. All right. So wait a minute. You say his father raised him, but is the father still in the house, or have you divorced from the father?
Of course not. He's a lazy bastard too. So I got stuck with the spawn from house.
So, all right. So he lived with his father. He was raised by his father. When did he move in with you then?
I don't even know. He snuck in at some point. He was broke into the room. I don't know. I don't have a lot, like a grip on reality. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not at my best here.
Yeah.
This is me working on one battery.
Yeah. Why don't you move out?
Because it's my fucking house. He needs to get out of here and get a life.
Why don't you sell the house?
I don't want to move.
Okay. All right. So then what you need to do is
poison him.
No, you can't do that. What you need to do is start like an escort service, and start having, strippers and escorts and have parties every night, and you'll drive them out. They'll want to get out of the house because, and then start raising, like ferrets, rats, turn into a zoo.
Okay.
Start putting devil worship signs on the walls. Act like you already are weird. So just completely go over the deep end. I'm
weird because of the kid. Like, I'm totally a normal.
You got to be weirder than him. Okay, you want to get rid of him? Be so frigging weird he can't take you anymore. And you yell in the middle of the night. You get up and start singing, like Judy Garland musicals at like 4 a.m. in front of his room. You've got to drive him out.
Meet me in St. Louis, like that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you got to start playing drums. Start, drums, musical instruments, a piano, and put them all around his room. Thank you so much. Give me a call when he moves out. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks for the advice.
I got Jasmine. Jasmine, so you lose your keys all the time. That's what my producer says.
Yeah, I can't find them now. I gotta leave in like 10 minutes. I don't know what to do. I don't.
Why don't you, like, when you come in, like, have a key hook or something and put the keys in the same place all the time?
I had one, and yet somehow it flies off the hook.
So
It ends up.
yeah, you're losing the key hook that the keys are on, so you're losing both.
Yeah, I mean, the hook, it wasn't steady on the wall anyway, but
Yeah.
I normally put them in a bowl, and now that bowl's gone missing.
It sounds like it's more than just the keys that you seem to be missing. It seems like whatever you do seems to disappear. It sounds like to me. Is this what's going on here? Do you even know where your car is?
I think he's outside. The car's outside.
You call the car a he. It's a he car.
Yes, his name is Scooby.
Scooby. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you know where? Did you come with your boyfriend? Do you know where he is, or did anybody drive you here? Do you remember how you got here?
I think I drove.
Then you had your keys.
Yeah.
Unless it's an EV. Is it an EV? Is it an electric car? Because you don't need keys for an electric car.
You don't need keys for an electric car?
No.
Oh. Maybe I need one of those. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, then you'll lose it. You still have to carry the electric device to still open the doors. It's just not a key. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
It's all like pushing buttons.
My house keys are on those keys. Where is it?
Okay, so you've lost your house. Okay, is this why you can't get back in your house now either?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a regular occurrence. I once left the keys in the door. Didn't see them until the morning. It was...
Right. And then what? So, but they were still there. The doorknob wasn't missing.
No, the door...
Okay. And the door was still there.
Although, now that you mention it, things have been going missing lately.
Well, all right. So maybe somebody is doing this to you. Maybe someone who could be a sibling. Do you have a roommate or a boyfriend or your mother, parent? Someone could be doing this intentionally to drive you insane.
You might be right. I mean, you know what? My roommate, they are sketchy a little bit. I don't know what they do for a living, They somehow pay the bills, but they always have dollar bills.
And they always have keys, don't they?
Oh, they do. Or maybe it's their own key.
So when you say dollar bills, do you think they're a waitress or do you think they're doing lap dances?
I think they're doing lap dances. But I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me.
Maybe they're trying to hide your keys because they're bringing people back to the house and they don't want you to know about it.
Oh my God.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to send my crew over and we're going to put keypads in all your doors, so you won't have to ever have keys to get in your house. I can't do that with your car. You're gonna have to get but a keypad, and the keypad's permanently on there. So all you have to do is remember the 3-code number. Can you do that?
I can definitely do that.
Okay.
Numbers, those are my thing.
Thank you very much. Okay. Well, go try that. Give me a call back and let me know how those keypads work. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was our crisis hotline. Hopefully you had some good suggestions on maybe how to help these 4 fine folks. But now it's time to play the game show. It's our final game. It's called Real or Fake. Let's bring everybody out here. And this is a fun game for you, too, at home. You can decide if you have real or fake, and you can put numbers next to your own name. So the first round is 1 point. So Joseph is going to tell a story, and his job is to try and fool William, Tara, and Jasmine. Whoever he fools, he gets a point. If he doesn't fool them, the person who correctly guesses that he didn't have the right story, or it was real and it wasn't, or it was fake and it wasn't, they'll get the point. And we have 3 rounds of this. So we'll start, keep your stories to about 30 seconds to a minute max. So if I do cut in and stop you, we'll have enough. So get right to your main point of your story, starting with Joseph.
I kept smelling a dead rat in the closet. Now, I looked in the closet and I couldn't find the dead rat. I looked all over, took everything out of there, I was about to tear apart the walls when I saw my jacket there, and the smell was emanating from the jacket, and I looked in the pocket, and it was well, of course it was dead, but it was a smashed duck egg in that pocket. It'd been there at least 2 or 3 weeks, That's to smell like a dead rat.
Okay. Is that a real or fake story? Let's start off with William. Do you think that's real or fake?
Real.
All right, Tara.
I'm gonna go with fake.
Jasmine.
I think it's real.
Okay, Joseph, is it real or fake?
It's real.
It's real, so okay. The people who said it think it's real, they get a point. Joseph, you get 1 point because Tara was incorrect there. Let's go to William now. Put the point next to your names.
Okay, so when me and my wife went to Universal, they have one of these pay gates that you have to pay to park there for like over a few days. Well, someone gets up to this gate, doesn't want to pay, and starts reversing back into my wife's car. I get out, and I'm not an angry person, but I get out and I actually start yelling at him, even though I'm built like a pile of twigs. And I actually yell at him a lot, say some colorful words. So we get to the room, we get to the hotel, and we get ready for Halloween Horror Nights, and we get in the express line. And like, Halloween Horror Nights is a big thing. And next thing I notice, I see this really cool shirt of horror icons as kittens. And I say to the guy, I like your shirt. I look up, and it was the guy I had yelled at.
Okay, let's go down. Let's start with Tara. Is that real or fake?
It's real.
Jasmine.
That's real.
Joseph.
I'll go fake, just to be odd.
William.
It is real. That was like an awkward 30 minutes standing beside him.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so now William's got 2 points because you fooled one person. If you guessed correctly. So Jasmine, you should be up to 2 now. Tara is at 1. Okay, so now it's Tara's turn.
Okay, so my sister and I are about a year and a half or less apart. And when we were young, my parents, like, they would come and just check on us, like, halfway through the night, make sure we're sleeping, well. And they heard kind of a pitter patter on the roof. And this was in Southern California. Not a lot of critters to be found in suburban areas of LA. And so they were kind of like, what is that? And my dad had been working on the roof. The ladder was still up. And my sister wasn't in her bed. She was 4 years old. And apparently she found her way to the ladder, and she was on top of the roof of the house at midnight.
All right. Was that real or fake? Let's start with Jasmine.
I'm going to say that's fake.
Okay. Joseph.
I'll go with real.
Okay. William.
Real.
Tara.
You know me too well. It's real.
It's real. Okay. So you pick up 1 more point, Tara. Whoever said it was real, add a point to your name. Joseph, make sure you put your point totals next to you. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go with Jasmine.
Okay. So when I was younger, I once got bit by a dog. And because of that, I've been afraid of dogs ever since. And once when we were coming home, we were getting out the car, and this dog comes running out from someone's apartment and starts chasing me. So I start running, of course, and I was trying to calculate if I could get back to my mom's car or if I could get back into the house enough time to get into the house. And I couldn't get into the house. So basically this dog was chasing me around a car, kind of like in the cartoons, and I had to jump on the car in order to get away from the dog. It was a Chihuahua, and the guy had to catch him. And apparently somebody was watching the whole altercation from their balcony.
Okay, let's see. Is that real or fake? We'll start with Joseph.
It could go either way, but I'll say real.
William.
Fake.
Tara.
I don't think Jasmine would run from a Chihuahua, so fake.
Jasmine?
It was real.
It was real. So Jasmine gets 2 more points. That puts her at 4. And I think, Joseph, do you get correctly? I believe you get one more, so you have 3. So now after round, we're going to play one more round. We'll make this round worth 2 points each instead of 3 because it's so close. We have 3, 3, 4, and 2. Boy, this is a good round. So we're going to start with Tara this time first because this gives her a chance to now remember, if you can fool all 3 of them, you'll get 6 points.
Okay. So I went to a restaurant with a group of friends, and one of my friends seemed really distressed and wanted to call over the waiter, but wanted me to do it because, I don't know, just for whatever reason. And so I was like, okay. So I called the waiter over, and my friend whispers to just me and the waiter and says, I'm not entirely sure, but I think I just ate the moist towelette that comes with, with the meal. And the waiter kind of laughed and said, no, dude, that was the ginger.
Okay. All right. So let's go to Jasmine. What do you think, Jasmine?
I feel like that's real.
Real. Okay. Joseph, real or fake?
I gotta say fake on this one.
William.
Real.
Tara?
It's real.
It's real again. Okay, so that means if you said it was real, you get 2 points. You only fooled, looks like, Joseph. So Joseph, so you get 2 points still, Tara, because you got the 2 you fooled him. Okay, so now let's go to Joseph, who has 3 points. Chance to get up to 9.
When I was a little boy, I was always getting my folks in trouble with neighbors because of things that I would do. And one of the things I did was I went over a neighbor's house, and the little girl was there, and we were playing these records. They were these 78 records. 78 speed, that means it spins around 78 times. Anyway, she didn't like the record. The little girl didn't like the record I was playing, and she started crying. So I figured I'd give her something to cry about, and I broke the record over her head.
Wow. Okay, William, is that real or fake?
I'm afraid to say it's real. This is recorded, Joseph.
Tara.
It's got fake written all over it.
Jasmine.
That's definitely fake.
Joseph.
Real.
Oh my God! So he got 2. I think William, you guessed correctly, right? Yes. So you get 2, William, and you get 4, Joseph, 4, because you fooled 4 people. So now you're up to 7. So William and you have 7 points. Okay, so we're going to go to Jasmine then with 6.
Hi. So once in high school, I was taking Latin and my sister was taking French. And she wanted something from me. I don't remember what it was. So I went to her classroom to give it to her. And as I walk into the classroom, this is before classes even start. The bell hasn't even rung yet. And the teacher kind of just stares at me and he starts speaking in French. And I'm just like, I take Latin. I don't know what you're saying. Morgan, pointing to her. And all I could think was, oh, I wish I spoke French or at least enough to understand, because he probably was cursing me out or like asking why I was in his class. And I felt very embarrassed because everybody in the room was just like staring directly at me. And I'm like, okay. I don't like when people like, zone in.
All right. Well, is that real or fake? Let's go with Joseph first.
I'll say fake.
William.
I'm going to go with real.
Tara.
Real.
Okay, 2 reals and 1 fake. Jasmine?
It was real.
It was real. So, Jasmine, you pick up 2 points. Whoever said it was real picks up the points. 2 points. So now we're going into the final round here. William, who gets to tell a story now, I believe, has 9. and we have a 7, a 8, a 7, and a 6. Wow, it's a royal flush. Okay, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. William, the ball's in your court.
Okay. When I was like in second grade, a lot of the kids finally got to really see my dad up close. And my dad's a big guy. He is, in fact, so big and so muscular, especially when I was young, that everyone thought he was a WWE wrestler. And he came around so little that I started telling the lie. And I was able to keep the lie up that he worked for WWE as a trainer till I was in 5th grade.
Okay, real or fake? Joseph.
This is a coin toss. I'll go with real.
Jasmine.
I'm gonna say fake.
Tara.
I'm going to say fake, too.
William.
It was real.
It was real.
It only got called because he wore his uniform to pick me up one day.
So Joseph ends up with 9 in second place. Jasmine 8, Tara 6, and William with a whopping 13. And that is our show, folks at home. I hope you guys had a great time. We saw all your nice comments, and we appreciate that. This team's going to be back in 7 weeks because we're taking a 3-week vacation. So our next show is going to be somewhere around the end of January, 1st of February, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope everyone has a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And let's introduce our cast again. I'm Ken Scove. Joseph, fine job today. William, big-time winner. He wins his own gift. Okay, Tara. Jasmine.
I lost, though.
It's only a game. No one loses on this. Yeah, oh, look at that. Wow, that's amazing. You should have had that if you won. But then you were ready to go. She was ready to win this game, guys. Hey, thank you all at home for watching. We'll see you in 7 weeks. You guys stay with me. Wave goodbye to everybody. Have a really wonderful holiday season.